All right, so we're doing family vocab now, and I'm going to pull up my screen so I can see which family vocab. So my eyes are probably going kind of crazy, and you're like, HK, what are you doing? So the signs that we learned today, I'm actually going to put with other signs that we're going to learn down the road, probably in the next 2 or 3 days, depending on when you watch this video. When you watch the video, you may have already learned these. But the signs that we're going to learn are more, they're in the family unit, but and I use them as family because you would use them when talking about in reference to people and the relationships. And that's kind of what this whole area is relationships. So you have the sign for husband. You're going to put a 5 on your forehead, clasped down to your hands. Husband. Husband. The sign for wife is a 5 at your chin, clasps your hands. Wife. Wife. Then you have friend. We learned that one, ago, or like at the beginning of the school year. Friend. It's those 2 X's and they interlock. If it's your best friend, best friend. So you're going to take your dominant, you're going to pull down on your non-dominant. I think in class I said it was the opposite way, but it's best friend. Boyfriend, you're going to sign boy and friend or boyfriend. Girlfriend, girl and friend. Okay, you could do boyfriend if you want. Nope. And you can also do this for friend if you want in a conversation, especially if you're in a sentence and you don't want to hook. If you're talking that my boyfriend's name, you just want to keep going in there, then that's how you could do that. Or you could sign boyfriend, okay, with the X's that clasp, and then girlfriend or girlfriend. Relationship, that's where you take your 8s. Now we had problems with this with class today. A lot of people were trying to make 9s or 7s. It's the 8s, it's the 2 middle fingers, and they're going to connect, interlock each other, okay? If it's a strong relationship, instead of signing, we have a strong relationship, you can show it. We have strong relationship. You can see the strength that I'm putting in my fingers by the way that my hands are shaking, or, oops, I just missed, or the fact that I can't pull them apart. Strong relationship. I'm pulling against them. Okay, it's different from just being relationship to strong relationship. And then if it's a weak relationship, it kind of, you can pull apart pretty easy type things. The 2 ways to sign breakup that I showed in class, the easiest of the 2 were those 2 8s that were together for relationship, and you just break them apart. Now look, they stay apart. Some people were putting them back together, but if you're broken up, the sign is broken. You're not, still together. To break up, that's one of the ways. The other way is BKUP, to break up. I know it looks funny, but all I'm doing is rippling my hands to a KUP, break up, break up. Okay. Next slide. Hang on. Let me push through. All right. The sign is back together. There are 2 different ways that you can sign back together. There's back together. So you take the 2 8s and you go back together. Okay, to make the relationship again. So, back together. The other way to do it is B to K, back together. This is the sign for together. Okay, so you have back together or back together. I use this one more than anything else. The sign to grow up, you start here and then you grow up. Okay, and it goes above your head, to grow up. Grow up. This means that you physically are growing up, not you need to grow up and act mature. That's a whole different sign, a whole different context. This is to grow up, meaning I grew up in a small city, or I grew up always, eating family dinners. I don't know, but that's the type of grow up is what we're talking about. The sign for separated. Separated. So you take your fingers, the knuckles are touching, and you pull them apart. Okay, now I can be separated, or if I'm talking about people that are in the room, I can separate them. Okay, you may have seen me sign this in class when I talk about separating the desks. If you end up working with somebody and your desks are together, I just kind of make the sign to separate. The sign for divorce, you take 2 Ds. Okay, remember this was the sign to date. So the sign for divorce, you're here and they push away. Divorce. divorce. Adopted, A's, sign D's. Adopted. Adopted. A's to D's. That's whether you're adopting a pet, adopting a highway, adopting a child, any type of adoption. Okay? Me, you point to yourself. My, it's a 5 on your chest. We've used these in sentences a lot. You, okay? You point straight out in front of you. Now, if the person is in the room and you are talking about them, you can reference to them and point to where they are, but it's you. Your. This is no longer stop, okay? Your. And then you have he, she, and it. And with those, you're going to, because if you've looked it up or you know, it is just pointing off to the dominant side. So to determine whether if it's a he, a she, or just an it, you would have to put the gender with it. So he, boy, there. She, or it. Okay? He, she, it. Okay? And then you have his, so boy, 5 to the side, his, her. Okay? Then we have we, which we've done that one before. You have your one that's on your dominant side tucked under your arm, comes across we. I also seen we done this way. I don't do it that way. Our, as in our class. Our. So your thumb starts over here on your dominant side, pulls all the way to your non-dominant side. Us, so it's a U, and it goes all the way to the other side. The sign for they, I'm going to move my chair so you guys can see it a little better on the dominant side, but it's a 1, and it's going to draw a rainbow, or it's going to draw an arc back towards your body. They. Okay? So they are all girls. And again, this one can be used in direction. So if I'm talking about they are not here, or they are late, if they are over there. So you can use directional ways with that. And then we have pets. So you just pet the back of your hand. We know dog. Okay, you slap your hip, snap your finger. Cat, always good to reteach this because so many people get this one wrong. Cat, you pull the whiskers. Bird. Sign for snake, it's a bent V on my mouth. And as I slither away, I make a tss, tss. See how it kind of wiggles out just like a snake would. And then fish. Okay, so you're here 5 sideways close to your body, and you're just going to swim in a zigzag form away from your body. And that is it for family relationships.